Well, good morning, Joginder Rana here. The topic for our discussion today is risk-based capital in insurance. Risk-based capital in insurance. The insurance companies in India is to keep reserves to meet the future liabilities. These reserves are kept based on prudential regulatory norms. Our regulators also prescribe additional money that the insurance companies must keep aside in a form of solvency capital to meet the contingency if it arises. So such money cannot be used for any other purposes. This solvency capital in India is currently calculated based on two-factor approach, which however does not take into the account all the risks that the insurance company faces. So there is a shifting word over on the calculation of the capital based on all the risks that company faces as opposed to two-factor approach currently used, commonly known as the risk-based capital approach. So the key highlights in the report means the committee on RBC set up by the Indian insurance regulator in June 2016 has given a report in July 2017 and has recommended the introduction of RBC regime by March. So the report is available on IRD website. That says the RBC approach may be based on factor-based model as compared to internal model used in some markets. Qualitative impact study will be performed which will help in determining the approach and assessment of parameter values. Recommendations on the implementation of enterprises risk management. So impact of this change in the capital calculation will be the key stakeholders and the way insurance company operates. Some of these changes are discussed like the shareholders. Means this solvency capital directly comes from the shareholders which cannot be used for any other purposes than supporting the solvency. So the investment norms on solvency capital money are much stricter, which means that the shareholder earns a return on this money by around equivalent to return on GSEC and therefore loses the right to earn market return. This means that the shareholder bear the cost of locking this money which otherwise could have earned higher return. So therefore shareholders would like to lock lesser solvency capital and therefore reduce the risk. However, the current solvency regime does not provide the opportunity as the capital is not a function for all these. So the introduction of risk-based capital will provide this opportunity to the shareholders to optimize the return on capital by suitably managing the risk that the company will undertake. Then comes product design. So due to the risk-based capital requirement, the companies may shift the focus of product design based on the risk appetite. For example, those companies who have constant capital position may move away from designing high capital intensive products such as product with a high interest rate, guarantee which consumes higher interest rates, risk capital to protection based products which are less capital intensive. So the key risk in protection product is a mortality risk which can be hedged by purchasing the reinsurance cover as compared to the higher capital requirement for interest rate risk in the absence of interest rate risk hedging tools. So similarly, other options of moving to lower capital intensive product are to move towards linked product where customers bear the investment risk. However, such expected changes in the product design must be driven by customers' need rather than just capital requirements. So the emerging economic condition will also be a factor for the customer's choice of financial product needs. Some bottom rung players may need additional capital to manage the needs of the customers and their own risk appetite. So it would be useful for the insurance players to relook into their product strategy based on currently available capital and future taking ability. Such change now will help in the smooth transition from the current capital regime to RBC regime. And then the mergers. In the Western market, when they were moving to the RBC regime, that is risk-weighted capital regime, it was observed that the risk-weighted capital had a higher capital requirement as compared to their earlier regime. So the impact of the Indian insurance players in terms of their capital position will only be known in the industry. Go through the quantitative impact study of the results of other markets that move to RBC is used. So there could be challenges to some bottom rung companies in terms of their available capital to back solvency. So they may require either additional capital injection or they may take the route of mergers with stronger players. Some players may take IPO route to fetch additional capital, but other financials will be the key in taking this route for the public to invest money to get a suitable return. The post-implementation of RBC consolidation in the insurance industry may not be ruled out. As regards investments, the introduction of RBC may bring new investment norms which will impact different players based on their capital position and leveraging competitive advantage. Players with higher capital and higher risk appetite may have a more competitive advantage in investing into the more risk assets, thereby giving customers better return products based on their needs. So the exact nature of investment norms will only be known when the parameter values for investments are known. So there will be a linkage of investment norms, product design and the risk appetite while setting the strategy for the future. Those players who will be managing the risk better will be in a better competitive position in terms of satisfying customers' need as well as shareholders' required return. The key in this direction is to build up risk culture. Then comes the enterprise risk management. The RBC committee has exclusively recommended a parallel implementation of enterprise risk management. The ERM in a simple sense is a company-wide application of risk management for all functions contribute to identification and management of risk. This is opposed to silo approach where the risk management is focused and limited to few functions. So policyholders' need and managing their expectations will determine the leaders in the market. This is represented by conduct risk, which is defined as the risk of not delivering a good customer outcome. So in some countries, managing conduct risk is one of the key requirements of success apart from financial results. So the final details of risk-based capital implementation will be known later by the IRDA. Our initial assessment of moving to risk-based capital suggests that the insurance companies may work on their strategy to place themselves better when finally it gets implemented. The areas where the players can work on more are ERM may be proactively implemented in conjunction with the board, which will not only help in optimizing the capital but also help in developing and implementing the ERM model within the company. Such ERM implementation will also help in building the risk culture across the organizations and focusing on the product design which optimizes the capital given the risk appetite of the company, because there will be diversification, effect of different risks, product classes and risk may be chosen which provide disadvantages. For example, annuity and term product portfolio will bring down overall risk as longevity risk and mortality risk are negatively correlated. So improving the customer satisfaction level, and once the details of the parameter values are known, there will be players who can take advantage of investment norms based on their product design. So the investment norms may also drive the choice of product design. Then it is imminent that the landscape of the Indian insurance industry is bound to change in the next 5 years if RBC is implemented as scheduled. Thank you very much.